One of the great things about Brittany is that you have that sense of small community that often you won't find unless you get way out in the suburbs of Atlanta. And so one of the great things about Brittany is that you're right here in Atlanta, so close to many of the places where you might be working or where you would want to go, great restaurants, all those sorts of things. But then you also have that sense of community with the swim and tennis club and just the way the neighbors really interact with one another. I mean, you get that small community feel, but you're still right here in the middle of Atlanta.
You know, I think the really unique thing about Brittany is the setting that it's in and also the lake. We looked, when we first came over here, we couldn't believe that there was a lake this close to Atlanta. And so we enjoy spending time on the lake, but also at the club. It's just a unique sort of spot and not something you can typically find, again, in this proximity to a big city like Atlanta.
It's just a hidden gem. I can't find any other place in Atlanta like it because you're close to everything. You're close, if you're a golfer, you're close to many golf clubs. If you work in the financial industry, which I do, you're close to Buckhead. If you like shopping, you're close to some of the best malls in Atlanta. And you have an incredible swim and tennis club called the Brittany Club that's on roughly 40 acres of lake property called Silver Lake. So it's just an incredible place to live.
The Brittany community is a place where I feel totally comfortable having my kids ride their bikes around the neighborhood. It really is just a super safe place, one that's hard to find here in the big city of Atlanta. Close to Brittany, there are a lot of really good school options. The public schools here are great. There are a number of families that have their children in public schools, and then there are also a lot of really great private schools that are close by too. So many different options for your kids.
It's a great place to raise a family here because of a few things. First off, it's a really tight-knit community. There's a lot of folks that are, of varying ages, but everybody gets along really well. There's a lot of children in the neighborhood, so there's a lot of kids to play with of all ages, which is great, whether you need babysitters or looking for someone to hang out with your 7-year-old. Also, there's a lot of fun social activities to do for the kids. Everything sort of revolves around the Brittany Club, and so the swim and tennis, as well as the lake. So all that mixed together means it's just a great place for the kids.
It's an extraordinary place to raise a family, and we've done that. We moved here, our children were, we only had 2, and they were 3 and 1.5. And so they've grown up in the neighborhood. They've got great friends. They've been on swim team. They've done club events. They walk around and see their friends in the neighborhood. So it's an amazing community.
The Brittany neighborhood has a number of families that have been here for years. So there's some older couples that are retired. And then there are also younger families, empty nesters. You'll really see the full spectrum of families that live here in the Brittany area.
As far as the safety in the neighborhood, it is a really safe place to be. We find that the community, everybody knows each other really well, so they know which cars are supposed to be in the neighborhood and which aren't. It's also nice that there's sort of one main drag to come into the neighborhood and out, which adds to the safety. So as far as it goes for us, we feel very safe in the neighborhood. Sure, some of the big events that the community does every year that sort of brings everybody together are usually around the holidays. So we have a large party in Memorial Day where we have events around the club as well as the lake. We do live music, we have a lot of cookouts, we have jumpies for the kids and family. We also do things around July 4th and some of the other holidays during the year. The fireworks at Brittany are a pretty big deal, and so it's a pretty big event and a great time for all.
The Brittany Club is a great place to bring people together, and that's what's so unique about this neighborhood. There's a lot of nice neighborhoods in Atlanta, but there's very few that have such a sense of community created by one central place called the Brittany Club.